Didn't have the mic on. I hope you heard me okay. Um, Again, welcome back to Bible Studies. We're now going to be covering part 3 of Proverbs. Part 3, which talks about the Proverbs of Solomon, which is chapter 10, verses 1 through 24, chapter 24, verse 34. Part A of section 3 talks about the Proverbs contrasting righteousness and wicked lives, which is chapter 10, verse 1 through chapter 15, verse 33. I'm going to read it, then we're going to go back over verses. Okay? The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is in heaviness of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, for righteousness delivereth from death. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. He that gathereth in summer is a wise son. Excuse me a minute. Oh, there you go. I take some pressure off. Where was I? Verse 5. He that gathereth in summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. Blessed upon the head of the just, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the just is blessed, the name of the wicked shall rot. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a prating fool shall fall. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known. He that winketh with the eye causeth sorrow, but a praying fool shall fall. The mouth of the righteous man is a well of life, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirreth up strife, but love covereth all sin. In the lips of him that hath understanding wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. The labor of the righteous tendeth to life, the fruit of the wicked to sin. He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction, but he that refuseth reproof erreth. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. And the multitude of words which wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. The tongue of the just is of choice silver, the heart of the wicked is little worth. The lip of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom. The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. It is a sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom. The fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him, but the desire of the righteous shall be granted. And the whirlwind passeth, so is the wicked no more. But the righteous is the everlasting foundation. A vinegar to the teeth, and a smoke to the eye, is a sluggard to them that sin them. The fear of the Lord prolongeth the day, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened. The hope of the righteous shall be gladness, but the expectations of the wicked shall perish. The way of the Lord is strength to the upright, but destruction shall be the worketh of iniquity. The righteous shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not inhabit the earth. The mouth of the just bringeth forth wisdom, but forward tongues shall be cut out. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but in the mouth of the wicked speaketh frowardness. Going back to chapter 10. Okay, chapter 10, verse 1 through chapter 22, verse 16. The discourses concerning wisdom and folly constitutes a preference to the central portion of the book, which contains 325 of Solomon's Proverbs. These proverbs are general principles and guidelines that may have exceptions. Any exception is not a problem of irritating, but a matter of nature of Proverbs. They are true as general rules. In verse 1, it says, The Proverbs of Solomon, a wise son maketh glad, the Proverbs of Solomon, a wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. A wise son, one who fears and obeys God and makes successful applications of knowledge in everyday dealings. A foolish one is one who is insensible and insensitive to moral truth, acting without regard to it and to his own destruction. Heaviness, grief. In verse 2, his treasures of the wicked profit nothing, for righteousness delivereth from death. Treasures of the wickedness means wealth obtained by immoral means. In verse 4, he becometh poor that dealeth with a slack of hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. Dealeth, works, slack, negligent, idle. Let's look at verse 6. Blessings are upon the head of the just, but violence covered the mouth of the wicked. Violent plans and languages envelop the mouths of the wicked. That's talking about the second part of chapter 6. And let's take a look at verse 8. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a prating fool shall fall. A prating fool means the foolish of lips, a babbling fool. Verse 9. He that walketh upright walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known. Surely or securely shall be known, found out. Verse 11. The mouth of the righteous man is well off, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. Let me read verse 11 again. I said it wrong. The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. Well of life means source of spiritual vitality or vitality. Verse 12. Hatred stirreth up strife, but love covereth all sin. The second part, love covereth all sin. It's something that Jesus has done in the past, has taught. Love conquers all. Okay? You hear it all the time on TV shows, you hear it reading books. But Jesus said it numerous times as part of what the gospel preached or has taught us what Jesus said. No matter what sin you do, love will conquer all. Okay? just by asking for forgiveness and asking Jesus into your heart. Are you, and knowing that Jesus died on the cross for your sins, that you're allowed to go to heaven. It is such a strong, what's the words I'm looking for? Um, it cannot be stressed enough how important it is to be saved. Because if you're not saved, you're going to be condemned to hell for all eternity, eternal death in the fiery pits of hell. Whereas if you are forgiven, you ask for God for forgiveness, come into your soul to be, and you want to be saved, He will grant you the passage to heaven. Once you're saved, you're saved. You'll have eternal life with God. And once you're saved, God will not see God, because once you're saved, you become God's children. And even if you do wrong after you're saved, God will still forgive you because you're His child now, because you became a born again Christian. I cannot stress that enough. Okay, now let's go to verse 14, chapter 10, verse 14. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. Is near destruction, which means likely to endanger himself and others. Verse 15. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. Wealth can sometimes protect from trouble, while poverty is liability that exposes one to misfortune. Verse 16. The labor of the righteous tendeth to life, the fruit of the wicked to sin. Labor means reward of labor. The income of the righteous establishes life, whereas what is acquired by the crimes of the wicked yields sin and ultimate death. Again, that's going back to what Jesus preaches in the New Testament. Let's go to verse 22. The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he that addeth no sorrow with it. Real prosperity is a divine blessing, accompanied by neither anxiety nor trouble. Verse 23. It is as sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom. Mischief means wickedness, but a man of understanding hath wisdom means better, and so is wisdom to a man of understanding. Verse 26. A vinegar to the teeth, and a smoke to the eye, so is a sluggard to them that send them. Those who employ him, the sluggard, is like sour vinegar and irritating smoke. Verse 29. Verse 29. The way of the Lord is strength to the upright, but destruction shall be workers of iniquity. Strength means better or strongholds, and it shall be. Verse 30. The righteous shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not inhabit the earth. The righteous shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not inhabit the earth. Be removed or shaken, let's say like a tree. The good apples that are still not quite ripe will stay on the tree. Those that are ripe or rotten will fall away. They'll not belong to the tree no more. I guess is the best way of looking at it that way. And verse 31, which is the mouth of the just, bringeth forth wisdom, but froward his tongue shall be cut out. Froward means perverted. So a perverted tongue should be cut out of one's mouth in that case. Now we're going to read chapter 11, chapter 11, verse 1 through 31, and then we'll go over that. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but just weight is his delight. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowliest wisdom. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but the righteous delivereth from death. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perisheth. The righteous are delivered out of trouble. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. The hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth, and when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace. A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. For with no counsel is the people fall, but the multitude of counselors there is safety. He that is surely for a stranger shall smart for it, and he that hateth shortship ashore. Actually, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. He that is surety for a stranger shall be smart for it, and he that hateth shortship is sure. A gracious woman retaineth honor, and strong men retain riches. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a source. Again, I'm going to reread 18. Some of these, I'm sorry, missing teeth is really, I'm struggling, but I'll get it. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. A righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. They that are forward heart are abomination to the Lord, but such are they that are of forward heart are abomination to the Lord, but such as are upright in their way are his delight. Though hand joined in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteousness shall be delivered. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. The desire of the rich and righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. There is a scattereth and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but tendeth to poverty. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head. What? Okay. Verse 26, he that holdeth corn, the people shall curse him. A blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it. Verse 27, he that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief shall come unto him. Verse 28, he that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be the servants to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more the wicked and the sinner. So now let's go back to verse 11. Chapter 10. Where are we? Okay, here we are. Verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. The law required a just weight, though the people often disobeyed. Okay, verse 2. When pride cometh, it cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. Lowly means humble, submissive to God and man. Verse 3. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Transgressors means those who deal treacherously. Verse 5, the righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. Perfect means morally upright. Direct, makes straight or smooth and clear of obstacles. Verse 6, the righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall take it in their own naughtiness. Transgressors means naughtiness or greed. Verse 7, when a wicked man dieth, his expectations shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perish. Unjust men means literally strength or strong men, however powerful during life. The hopes of the wicked are frustrated at death. Verse 8, the righteous is he delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. Stead means place. In verse 9, an hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Hypocrite means bitter or godless man. An apostate. Just means righteous. Let's take a look at verses 10 and 11. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth, and when the wicked perish, there is shouting. But the blessed of the upright of the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. The lives of the righteous, which is diffusing morality, and the deaths of the wicked, is eliminating some crime, affects the city of the good. Verse 12: He that void wisdom, he that is void of wisdom, despiseth his neighbor, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace. Despiseth means belittles or shown contempt, or holdeth his place. means keep silent. Verse 13. A talebearer reveals secrets, but he that is a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. Tabernacle is a malicious slander, not merely one who is in the street. Faithful spirit means trustworthy. Verse 14. Where no counsel is the people fall, in the multitudes of counselors there is safety. Counsel means steering, wise direction of the course of life. Safety, literally deliverance. Verses 15 and 16. He that is surely for a stranger shall smart of it, and he that hateth shortship is sure. Gracious, a, grace, a gracious woman retaineth honor, and strong men retain riches. Smart means suffer harm. Sure means secure. Retaineth means obtain. A quiet woman can win honor, whereas brute force will gain material possessions only. Verse 17. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him the surely righteous shall be a sure reward. Worketh means a deceitful work, requires wages or deception. The labor of the wicked has, so with righteous shall be a sure reward. Okay, I kind of messed it up. Worketh. Okay. Verse 18. Work. Okay. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. Worketh a deceitful work, acquires wages of deception. The labor of the wicked has no blessing and brings no permanent gain, in contrast to the righteous who will earn an enduring reward. In other words, they could be easily talking about the sheep too. Um, it's been a long week, folks. I'm trying to keep awake here. Again, I'm going to read the definition here at the bottom of the page. Verse 18 says, Worketh in deceitful work, requires wages of deception. The labor of the wicked has no blessing and brings no permanent gain, in contrast to righteous who will earn an enduring reward. It's like a pastor or a priest or a reverend, when they go to save people, which means saving their souls, bringing them to salvation. It is reward knowing that they earned it. They honestly earned it. Okay, not just by living a deception of preaching. Like there are some pastors, they're trying to preach salvation, and they don't know what salvation is because they're not saved. It's not right. I know those type of people should not be head of churches because it's very deceitful and wrong. Let's look at verse 19. As righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. Perhaps read, steadfast righteousness tends to life, and he who pursues evil pursues it to his own death. Let's look at verse 21. So hands join in hands, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the unrighteous shall be delivered, as a jewel of gold in a swine's snout. So is a false woman which is without discretion. Now, I kind of jumped ahead right there. Verse 21. Though hands join in hand, hands to hand, an allusion to shaking hands to confirm a matter. And verse 22, discretion means taste, moral perception. Let's jump to verse 24. There is that scattereth and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but is tendeth to poverty. Meet means right, which is what he should give. Let's jump to verse 26. He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him, but blessed shall be upon the head of him that selleth it. Corn, which is a grain. He hoards grain to force up the prices, which is quite common back then. Let's take a look at verse 27. Procureth means better seeks. So in other words, let me read the verse. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, means better or seeks. Okay? But he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him. Look at verse 28. The branch means a leaf. So he that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. Verse 30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. Tree of life means source of life, winneth souls, not winning salvation in this context, but attracting others and imparting to them wisdom. Now, we're going to go over verse 25 very shortly. Okay, so just bear with me. I'm going to get a quick drink. And we'll probably stop right after chapter 12. Okay, folks? Chapter 12, verse 1. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he hateth reproof is brutish. A good man obtaineth favor of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is a rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. The words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. A man shall be commanded according to his wisdom, but he that is of perverse heart shall be despised. He that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoureth himself and lacketh bread. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but that's okay. Sorry, I skipped a page somehow. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. The wicked desireth the net of evil men, the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. The wicked is snared by the transgressions of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hand shall be rendered unto him. The way of the fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. He that speaketh truth sheweth forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is healing. The lip of truth shall be established forever. A lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. There shall be no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. The hands of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. Heaviness in the heart of a man maketh it stoop, but a good work maketh it glad. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked is seduceth them. Verse 27. The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of diligent men is precious. Sorry. And the last one of verse 12, verse 28. And the way of the righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. Let's go back and read chapter 12, verse 1. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. Instruction means training by word or deed. Brutish means stupid. In verse 4, a vicious woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is a rottenness in his bones. A virtuous woman, a wife of noble and upright character. Verse 5, the thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. The word of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The wicked are not overthrown, and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. A man shall be condemned according to his wisdom, but he that it is a perverse heart shall be despised. He that I went too far. Where was I? Verse 6. The word of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. Okay. Verse 6 talks about, whereas the wicked condemn men with false testimony, the righteous will speak the truth and deliver the innocent. In verse 8, a man shall be condemned according to his wisdom, but he that of perverse heart shall be despised. Commended means praised. In verse 9, he that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoureth himself and lacketh bread. In chapter 12, verse 9, it talks about despised, which means lightly esteemed, hath a servant, better a servant to himself. Better is a man of humble circumstances who works for himself than one who plays the big man and has nothing to eat. Verse 10, tender mercies, compassion. The tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. His tender mercies are compassions. Verse 11, the tender mercies of the wicked, he that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. Followeth vain persons means pursue vain things. In verse 12, the wicked desireth the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. Net means booty, yieldeth fruit, means better, endures. The wicked covets the body of other evil men in order to strengthen his own position. The righteous, however, depends upon his integrity and endures. He that returneth the words bear fruit. Okay, I'm lost here. Let's go back to verse 12. The wicked desireth the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. Net means booty or treasures. Yieldeth fruit means better, endures. The worker covets the booty of other evil men in order to strengthen his own position. Righteous, however, depends upon his integrity and endures. Verse 14. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hand shall be rendered unto him. Be rendered means returned. Words bear fruit as do deeds. Verse 15. The way of the fool is righteous in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsels is wise. Wrath means anger. Presently means literally in the day, or at once. A fool loses his temper when the offended, but a prudent man ignoreth where was I? 16. Fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. Wrath is equal to anger. Presently, in the day, or at once. A fool loses his temper when offended, but a prudent man ignores an insult. Verse 17. He that speaketh truth sheweth forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit. Sheweth forth righteousness means better declares what is right. Verse 18. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. Speaketh means better. Speak rashly. Piercings, thrusts, help, and healing. Verse 19. The lips of truth shall be established forever. The lying tongues is but for a moment. The lips of truth means the lips that speaks the truth. In verse 21. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. It means better understood, or no harm shall befall the righteous, but the wicked are filled with distress. The prudent man is cautious. Okay, let's stop right there. Verse 21. Better understood, no harm shall befall the righteous, but the wicked are filled with distress. Verse 23. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. The prudent man is cautious and reserved, whereas the fool rushes in and proclaims his ignorance. Verse 12:24. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the sloth shall be under tribute. Bear rule or rules under tribute. Put to compulsory labor. Chapter 12, verse 25. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh it soup, but a good words maketh it glad. Heaviness, anxiety, marketeth it stoop. Bows it down. In verse 26. The righteous is more excellent than the neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduce them. The slothful man slothful man roasteth not that which he took a hunting, but the substance of diligent man is precious. That's verse 27. Part B, meaning Part B says better, but it means but precious possession of a man's diligence. Chapter 12, verse 28. Chapter 12, verse 28. And the way of the righteousness is a life, and the pathway thereof there is no death. Their verse alludes to the immortality of the righteous. And that will conclude for today. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for giving us this beautiful morning. Give us the wisdom that we need to become better Christians, to live by example, Lord. And for those that need to be saved, help them find their way. If not, have them come to one of the pastors or the priest or one of the church members or even any one of the congregation. We're Baptists. We know the Bible, or at least the majority of it, and understand it. But there's still words in there that we don't understand. I give it to you, Lord, so that you may open our eyes and see it. And I pray, Lord, that your crew is still in one piece. This I pray in Jesus' holy name. Amen. Well, have everyone a good evening, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow night if I'm not too tired. You can tell I'm already tired now. I haven't got much sleep today, so I'll be checking you out tomorrow. And God bless. Take care of yourselves, and I'll definitely see you later. Bye.